what comes to mind is the relief of oppression. And so we took pride in the military about being the defenders of not only our country, but for the world. And so when we were deployed, there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifice on our part, sacrifice on our family's part. And so, but we were relieving oppression of other people, right, of other countries, and so they can have the same freedoms that we enjoy. So then I think about what he did on the cross gives us that freedom from the oppression of sin. I was raised in a strict Italian Christian household. And so like Pastor Elena was talking about last week with the hot sauce and the bars of soap, that was a great reminder of how my household looked like. But I'm thankful for it because it really gave me a foundation of being able to understand that there's consequences for your actions, and that when you obey and when you do what's right and have integrity, then that's helped me in the Marine Corps and also outside of the Marine Corps, outside the military in my career. And I think about a time when I witnessed that true lack of freedom is when we were on liberty in the Middle East, and we went to a mall, and we were under strict like guidelines. Like the sheik will come talk to you, and he's like the leader of the household, and that he would have his women and other men, and they would be behind him, and there would be no eye contact. You would not speak to them, they would not speak to you. And that really gave me a clear picture of what we were doing over there, right? You see this oppression of women and children and their beliefs and their freedom, just that clear picture of the lack of freedom that they experience every single day. The freedom to worship is that expression of worship that we're able to do when we want, how we want, and really in other countries, what I've seen and what I've witnessed is, they're restricted to one God or one religion, and Christians are still being persecuted to this day, right, and being killed for their faith. And what we see here in America is that expression of worship to who you want, right? And I think that's important for people to find out who the true God is, and we have that opportunity here where we don't have persecution of Christians in the same way that we see in the Middle East or in other countries. Our brothers and sisters that are still in the military, even Air Force and Coast Guard will include them. No, it's really just they still sacrifice, they still deploy, they still spend time away from their families, and they give us the opportunities to enjoy the freedom that we have here, but also the way that Jesus' love for us, right? Jesus loved us where we were and how we were and for what we're going to be. And so he has that unending love for us. And John 15:13, right? That there's no greater love than to lay your life down for your friends. I mean, we see that in both examples of what Jesus did for us, and then for the military and what they've done for us as well. So for me, one of my life verses is Galatians 5:13, where they talk about we were called to freedom and not to use it for the opportunities of your flesh, but to love one another and serve one another. And so when we talk about the freedom in Christ and what that looks like, it looks like loving everybody and serving everybody. It doesn't say serve, I'll just redo that. So it doesn't say serve, just your close family or your close friends, but to serve one another. And for me, that means to serve everyone, right? And to love everybody. That's the greatest commandment. And I try to live my life like that, and with that freedom in Christ, and then the freedom to not take advantage of that just for my flesh and for my selfish desires, but to serve one another and love one another.